Hi folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. Well, I guess summer has come to an end and it's now fall. It's amazing that we can say that, but fall is a transition time, and one of the transitions that we really look forward to is when the salmon will start to come up, like the Salmon River. You know, that's our mecca in this area, is the Salmon River. And I've talked to my buddy Rocky, and he says there really haven't been any runs of salmon this month in August. And he said normally every 4 or 5 years there's an August run, but there wasn't this time. But one of the things that he said that it just dumbfounded me, I thought it was fascinating. He said that when salmon choose to run up these rivers, it isn't about water flow or water temperature. Changes don't really trigger it. It's something in their brains that tells them it's time to stop being a predator and to come up here and reproduce. And this is when they all come up. So it's hard to really forecast the exact time. But this is an exciting time of the year now where we have this to look forward to. Those fish should start coming up sometime in September. And I know people are planning their vacations to the Salmon River in Pulaski at this time of the year. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that this incredible area that we have here is really predicated by Lake Ontario. And I think back to years and years and years ago when I was young, that the Great Lakes had really lost all their great fishing that they'd had for centuries. And one in particular, Lake Erie, was almost like a cesspool of pollution. But the governments, both the state and federal government, decided to do a restructuring of the Great Lakes to rebuild the fisheries that existed there before. And when they started doing this, I want to give credit to who I think really had a profound impact on the development of the fisheries that we have in our area, and that was Bill Safe. He was the president of WMPI and WMPE TV in Watertown, and his TV show, Rod and Reel, that he started was sort of one to illustrate the great fishing that we could have in our area. And as Lake Ontario came back into being, it helped him to help establish a tremendous fishery that has become world famous right now. And I believe so much of it is attributed to what Bill did, using Henderson Harbor sort of as a center of bringing people together from Canada and the United States, and the friendships that were formed and the fishery that was discovered was absolutely incredible. And part of that fishery was having these salmon that now lived in Lake Ontario have a place to come up and spawn. And of course, we realized how that helped form Pulaski, and the Salmon River is such a special worldwide destination. This is what we have, and now is the time of the year when Lake Ontario's magic comes into play. People can start planning for the salmon to come up. You know, people had never before had a chance to catch a fish as big and powerful as these Chinook salmon that had been stocked in Lake Ontario and started to run up our streams, and gave people a chance to catch something. Even if they didn't have a boat, they could go along the streams and be able to tangle with these monster fish. And this is what we have today, this wonderful fishery. And I think we should really celebrate how special it is. And I did want to give credit. You know, a lot of times we forget who really helps build something, and everybody else jumps in to take credit for it. But Bill Safe really had a tremendous impact on the development of this fishery. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report.